two moves, we're gonna cover two different scenarios that a lot of people are asking about. I'm not gonna go too deep into this topic. If you guys were here last year, like similar stuff to this, because otherwise we're just totally getting into 50-50, which is, I think if you're gonna do K-guard, you have to be good at 50-50, but we're not gonna spend too much time on that. But basically there's two things that will happen right here once I get to this position. So the first being, I pass the leg over, and just I wanna talk about one thing as well. You guys are putting the leg on the near hip well. If you guys can't bend the leg, it's because you're not hooking your partner's far hip. So when Thomas goes to square up with me, see how I'm lifting my hips up and I'm coming all the way up on my shoulder? And now when I hook the far hip, he can't keep his leg straight. I just drive my hips in and that bends his leg. In this case, and then that gives me the heel. So if we don't throw that to the far hip, if we just end up right here, I'm not gonna successfully bend his leg. So I need this far leg. This makes it much easier. And I kind of push off of this and I swing my leg like a pendulum. Now I can hook the far hip pretty easily and then we can catch the heel. So when we get here, first scenario is in the case that I really feel like I can't create the angle. He's doing a good job and by driving into me, he's getting his foot on the mat. If he really gets that foot on the mat, it's very, very tough for me to do this. If I can extend him away and keep the leg off the mat, I'm gonna have an easier time throwing backside. So when this happens, the foot's on the mat, I'm gonna make a switch. I wanna catch his foot or his kind of the ball of his foot in my bicep. Like this, and my other hand goes to the knee, like this. So when he goes to put his foot on the mat, he can't because he's stepping on my bicep, just like this. So this grip is basically a heel hook grip. I just have to maneuver myself into the right position. I go back and lift my hips up, I throw the leg inside, we end up back in the same position. So I'm just making a switch. From here, I'll make a little bit of space, I'll go to the knee, and I'll feed the foot in this position. I really want to get the toes kind of flexed when I'm doing this. I don't want it all the way in my armpit, because then when I actually catch the heel, the foot's not going to be in the right position. So I focus on like pulling my elbow in and flexing his foot as much as I can in this spot. So his foot is like a 90-degree angle, then I grab the knee right here. Now I use my 2 feet to make space, hips come up, I throw this to the far side. Now I already have the heel, and there's a few ways we can go. I can go back the way I came, or in this case, I'm gonna go slow, I'm gonna roll all the way through. We end up with him on a hip. See how my feet are X'd over his far hip? I have the heel, I connect my hands, knees drive down, and then we finish. So I like this option a lot because it allows him to not put that foot on the mat. Most of the time when people are defending leg locks, that's a common defensive maneuver, is to get the foot on the mat. It's hard for me to throw backside. I'm kind of jammed up right here. So I'll just push into him enough to feed the heel into this position. Now I want it close, like not in my armpit, kind of closer to where my elbow is. Like this, and I'm focusing on flexing his foot, and now I grab the top of his knee. I'm kind of using this to start to bend his leg as I lift my hips up and throw this here. Now, I have the heel already. I could either go back the way I came, but in this case, a lot of times I'll just roll all the way through. I end up with my legs X'd over the far hip. So see how my feet are crossed, one foot's on the stomach, the other leg's over the far hip, or I can dip this inside. I connect my hands, knees turn down as I rotate the shin towards me. So his femur is turning one way, and his shin is turning the other way, and we finish. All right, 1, 2, 3.